It is the second one over just the past few months, thanks to that big redistricting legal fight. Voters heading to the polls today to pick congressional and state Senate candidates who will then face off in November in the general election. Polls are open until 9 o'clock tonight, and all eyes are on the Republicans battling it out for the newly drawn 23rd congressional district. Buffalo businessman Carl Palladino is taking on State Republican Party Chairman Nick Langworthy. The winner will go on to November to try to represent the southern tier and a good chunk of Erie County. That's the new 23rd. Tom Reed represented most of that district for more than a decade and then retired earlier this year. Representative Chris Jacobs was the front runner, but then he bowed out of the race due to his support for gun control, and he lost enough support from Republicans. So there have really been a lot of twists and turns in this race, and now two big names are going to face off. You can see about 3.5 hours until polls close. We will have Tom Reed joining us live in just a moment. Looking forward to getting his thoughts on this race. But first joining us right now is Brian Abram. He is the Republican Elections Commissioner in Chautauqua County, which is in the 23rd District. It's great to have you on here. I know it's a really busy day for you. We've been following the early voting totals as they've come in Erie County. Turnout pretty low here. I wonder what it's been like in Chautauqua County, and if you can give us a sense also of what you're seeing there today as people are actually voting on Election Day.
Early voting was pretty slow also. With the 9 days, we had 1,607 people turn out. Today it's been fairly brisk. We're looking at probably 19% turnout as we sit here right now with 3.5 hours to go. So it's a lot higher than we expected. We got 13% for the June primary, and who knows where we'll end up, but we're already close to 20%.
Yeah, I think it kind of speaks to the interest, especially in the 23rd congressional district race, right? But it's also been this kind of confusing cycle for a lot of people. So just to kind of remind everybody, there are two elections in the 23rd district, right? You have the primary today, which is to choose the Republican candidate who will face off in November. But you also have this special election that uses the old map because the lines have now been redrawn. Have you had to deal with any confusion among voters as they tried to figure out this special election to fill the seat for 4 months and then to also fill the new seat?
Yeah, a lot of people are wondering why certain people get two ballots and others don't. It's been a confusing part of the process. You explained it where there's two elections going on at the same time, and one being a primary. We know in New York State it's a closed primary system, so only Republicans participate in that election. And then, of course, the other one, the special, everybody's welcome to come out. So it is confusing to people watching people get two ballots when they may not be. Our good side of the situation is it didn't change us. The 23rd is all conducive to one county level. We didn't change our lines at any point. So it's a clean transition, but it's confusing for the voters walking in the door and never having this process in front of them. So it is unique.
I wonder about how things have just gone for you generally. You know, we've just come out of multiple elections in a row with the pandemic. I know that there were struggles to find enough election workers and all those different situations. Have you been able to find all of the people that you needed to run this election properly, and any snags that you've hit along the way today?
Well, we're right on the razor's edge of having enough people. We do have enough people today, but like everybody else, it's a struggle to find people to come out and work. And again, this time of year, a lot of people are on vacation. They're not really into the voting mode, if you will, and to find people to come out in August and work was a challenge. And it's something we met, but I don't know down the road if you can continue to stock the poll sites with the amount of people that is necessary. That's a challenge across New York State as far as having individuals that are willing to work and come out for that long day. So today we're okay. Hopefully down the road we will be also. So we're going to continue to try to cultivate interest in people coming out and helping us run elections.
You also hope that you don't run into a situation again, right, in which you have to have two primary elections so close together. I mean, again, just to remind our viewers, this is because the maps that the Democrats in Albany submitted were rejected by the courts, and so they had to push back these couple of primaries. I imagine that's just been kind of an added stress to all of this, right? We don't normally have a primary election in August.
Yeah, it's the first time for us, and people are really confused. Like, wait a minute, didn't we just have a primary, and who's running, and what are the players? So it is a difficult informational kind of outreach, if you will. We did send all households a card saying there was an election. All individuals can participate in the special. Republicans can do the primary, but it's still that moment of, wait a minute, what is going on? And it takes a little bit more time to explain it because it's so unique.
Brian Abram is the Republican Elections Commissioner in Chautauqua County. Again, I know it's a busy day for you. We really appreciate you taking some time.
No problem. Thanks for having me.